Hello everybody, it's that one guy, and today I'm here talking about the Chains of Harrow quest. Now, for those of you that don't know, or haven't played Chains of Harrow, I should say, Chains of Harrow is pretty much the next quest in line. I suppose you can call it cinematic, but I wouldn't really go that far. But it is an interesting quest, so I'll at least give it that. It is along the same lines as Octavia's Anthem, which Octavia's Anthem was supposed to be about Suda having Alzheimer's. And in this case, we had a Tenno, uh, a boy named Rel, who had autism. And no, I'm not saying that in like, oh, he's autistic, instead of saying, oh, he's weird. I'm saying, oh, he has autism, as in he has autism spectrum disorder. But I'll go into that further in another video. As far as the quest went, it was kind of interesting, but it was kind of average, kind of just a holding pattern kind of thing almost. I felt um, it was still very interesting, but frankly, it wasn't innovative in as many ways as it could have been. Though I'll be honest, if we could please get Iron Wake, and for that matter, could we get other Syndicate bases as relays? Please, that would be really cool. Like, come on. Seriously, who wouldn't like that? Come on. It'd be really cool. Um, One thing of note, I suppose, is just how the quest plays out, because it is very dark. And I mean that in the most literal sense. Like, it is extremely dark throughout the quest. Like, it's literally just dark. Like, there's just darkness. It's weird. It's... Why is it so fucking dark? Come on. Anyways, there's also this thing throughout the quest. You can find these messages written in blood, and I managed to translate. They all have some Tenno script. They all have some Orokin language, Tenno script, whatever the hell you want to call it. I call it Tenno script myself, but I managed to translate the Tenno language on it. So the first message says, "You cast him out," and then the Tenno script says, "Cast out." The second message says, "He suffers while you dream," and it translates out to "suffers," or, well, I assume it would be "suffers." It wasn't a "you," it was an "I" for some reason. The third message says, "Blinded, she cast him out," which presumably means Margulis cast him out, because they do say, or Palladino says, that Margulis was the one who cast him out. The fourth message says, "You rejected him, he saved you," and the Tenno script translates out to "rejected." The fifth message says, "What is evil but indifferent?" and I couldn't translate the Tenno script, unfortunately. It was too illegible. It was barely legible enough to read. It was too illegible for me to even translate. Like, I can't tell the symbols. There's too many sharp edges and stuff. They're very ambiguous. Now, one thing I suppose to clear up, Palladino makes a comment in the first mission. She says, "You are not she. You are not Margulis," and she tells her that you have become. Pretty much, she tells the Lotus that she's become uh, to the Tenno what Margulis was through the memories of the Tenno, not through the memories of Margulis. She is what the Tenno remember of Margulis. But this is kind of weird. Number one, how is she able to get the memories of Margulis from the Tenno is my question. Anyways, um, what else was I gonna say? Oh, the story. The story was interesting. I mean, it did provide us with a bit of extra lore as well. And it also kind of humanized the Tenno a bit, because they're not perfect. They are, well, they kind of were assholes to someone who didn't deserve it. He was just different. They never explained why, they just said he was different, and they treated him badly because of it. Now, talking about the story, it's very difficult to talk about the story. The story is just so weird. Essentially, you're helping someone who doesn't quite have full control of themselves. Um, or you're trying to. He doesn't quite understand that, though. So, you're essentially just going through and helping him, and we also learn a bit about the Red Veil. So everyone always thought the Red Veil were just nothing but fucking edgelords, but they're not. They are actually people who are along the lines of taking in the outcasts. I suppose you could say that all of the outcasts are going to know each other, so you could say that they took in Rill out of, I suppose, sympathy. Though Palladino says they were the ones who took him in and they listened to his teachings. Weird. Very weird. Anyways. So, as well, I suppose, like, the only thing really about the story is the man in the wall. That's the main thing about the story. And if you don't know what the man in the wall is, the man in the wall is that thing that shows up at the end of the quest that says, "Hey, kiddo." It also shows up at the end of the War Within, and it has, instead of having whites to its eyes, it's more like a purple or black, possibly, and it has sort of a very harsh gold color to its irises as well, and its pupils. It's very unsettling to look at, to say the very least. Anyways, this has just been my opinions and my thoughts on the Chains of Harrow quest. I know I tend to ramble, so, if, whatever. I do ramble sometimes, so if it got a bit, if I went off on a few tangents here and there, it's just kind of what I do. But anyways, as always, like, comment, subscribe, blah blah blah, YouTube bullshit that I don't actually care about. And thanks for watching.